I don't really care too much about the advice and opinions of my parents as I did when I was a kid, because it's hard to take advice and opinions of someone that's trying to tell you to go somewhere if they never been there. So
what motivates you in life?
Well, I mainly get my motivation just from being able to have a goal and to see myself achieve those goals. Just always wanting more, just having like an internal desire to want more, mainly just because of my upbringing. I was raised in a single parent household. My mom had, I'm the youngest of 3 children. My mom had my oldest sister at 15, and my second oldest sister she had at 19, and she had me at 22. So just growing up, it was always, a struggle. I mean, you can just imagine a 22-year-old with 3 kids, only a high school education, and just the lack of just certain things, that other kids had just made me have an internal desire to want more. And knowing that I couldn't get those things just because, my parents couldn't afford those things. So I'm just motivated by just being able to set goals and to achieve those goals, and just always having that internal desire, to want something more, just because of all the years I had to lack, growing up as a kid, eating syrup sandwiches, having roaches in my house, like having the fake Jordans because my mama wanted me to be, a part of the crowd, but she can't afford it, so having to wear the fake shoes, getting clowned on at school. So now that, I'm an adult and I can, buy the things that I want, it just drives me to keep making more money, to keep, just pushing the envelope and just being a better person every day.
Now that you're an adult, what are some of the things that you valued as a kid that you no longer value the same?
I'll say competition. I value competition as a kid. Fashion. I value popularity and just wanting to be in the in crowd. And I valued the opinion and advice of my parents as a kid. So now I would say that I still value fashion and I still value competition. I think those are 2 important things, that every person should take pride in. They should always want to look good, and they should always want to be the best, and they should always want to be number 1. I don't care about being in the in crowd anymore. I don't care about popularity. And I don't really care too much about the advice and opinions of my parents as I did when I was a kid, because it's hard to take advice and opinions of someone that's trying to tell you to go somewhere if they never been there. So and it's also hard to take advice from somebody that doesn't have to suffer the consequences of your own actions. So they can just tell you what they think you should do, but your decision is not going to affect them.
You spoke about competition.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you compete in today?
Right now, as of today, I'm competing with the world. I used to compete with my peers, in which my peers are mainly all Black and African American, but I've already reached that level of success, just making it to the top 7% of income in the Black community. So at that point, it's not much competition amongst Black people. So now I'm competing with the rest of the world. I'm competing with the white people. I'm competing with the Asians. I'm competing with the Indians. And so now I'm just trying to take my game to another level and become a mogul. I have 1 business right now. I'm working on my next couple business ventures here within the next few years. And so right now my competition is with the other races in America and with the other just top earners, not just Black people, because I feel like with Black people we have low bars of success. And so I feel like I already passed that hurdle. I already surpassed that bar. and now I'm trying to go with the top dogs out there.
As a black man in America, you said you're no longer competing with the black community because the bar's set low and you're competing with the world instead. Why is that?
Yeah. Well, you gotta understand that there was a lid set over the jar for black people for a long time. And with that lid, when black people try to jump, they can't get out. And so what happened is the lid is taken off, but people don't want to jump. What I mean by that is the shackles have physically been taken off of our feet, but mentally we still enslaved. So we don't even try to compete. We don't even try to think that we can be something. For example, everybody uses social media. You can't name me one black dude that owns it. Mark Zuckerberg, that Jack Dorsey dude, Twitter. All these people are white. They're not the only people that know how to code. So I feel that us black people, we're not competitive when it comes to the world. We're just competitive in our own neighborhoods. And we compete over the smallest things. We don't compete on a large scale. You know, we compete to have the best physiques and the best athletics to be on a basketball team. But who's competing to be the Mark Cubans? Who's competing to own the teams? Who's competing to own the leagues? So I'm mainly just trying to just compete with the whole world, because mentally the shackles aren't on my feet, nor physically. To add to that competition comment I was saying, as far as like people want to play basketball but they don't want to be the basketball owner. I'm not knocking anybody that plays basketball. I'm not knocking anybody that does sports or that want to rap or do any of those things. But if you're going to do that, hey man, just have a plan A. Because if you have a plan B, that means that you're not all in on your plan A. So even me, like, I had hoop dreams, and my parents used to always tell me, make sure you have a plan B, make sure you have a plan B. And the only reason they were saying that is because they knew that I wouldn't make it, at least in their eyes. I mean, I didn't make it, but they doubted me, and they was like, make sure you have a backup plan. And that's key word, as in be more realistic. So for all those dreamers out there that have some type of goal to be an entertainer, basketball player, a rapper, a singer, or whatever it is, an artist, YouTuber, blogger, man, hey, if you put your all in it, can't nobody tell you what you can or can't do. And they can tell you that, but only person that can prove it is you. You can either prove it or you cannot prove it. So I just want to throw that out there, because I don't want to discourage anybody. I'm not the type of person that's going to down anybody on their dreams. And I don't even like to call them dreams. I just like to call them goals.
So people want to know, what do you do for a living?
Yeah. So I do a couple things. For one, I'm a programmer, software developer. I work for Chase Bank. Make well over 6 figures there. And then I also own a trucking company, and I own a couple 18-wheelers, and I have some drivers, and I transport freight across the U.S.
You said you're a software developer and you own a trucking company.
Yeah.
How are you able to juggle the two at the same time?
Mainly it's working overtime. You just working overtime. You just gotta grind it out. You know that you have certain tasks that you have to do for your software development, and you know there's certain tasks that you need to do to run your business, and certain things that you need to get done. And whenever those things both collide, I always choose my business. I always choose my business over my software development job, always, because the business, that's the future. The business, that's my legacy. And so the software development, that's just an aid to help me. It's not a plan B. It's an aid and a supplement so that I can achieve my goals faster. Because if I have more income, then I can pump more money into the machine that I'm building so that the machine can run more smoothly.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'll say I'm happy. With a caveat, I'm happy, I'm just not satisfied. I mean, I'm happy, I have health, good health, I have family, I have friends, I have a beautiful girlfriend. So I'll say that I'm happy, but I'm not satisfied. If I die right now, I wouldn't feel like I accomplished. I wouldn't feel accomplished. I wouldn't feel like I achieved my max potential. So I say I'm happy. I'm just not satisfied.
So do you have any advice for people that are having a hard time being happy or trying to find satisfaction?
Yeah, so to get happy is what I found is whatever your ideal of happiness is, just go and get it. Like, if there's something that's blocking you from not being happy, remove those barriers. And if there's something that you need that you think that will help you be happy, then go and get that happiness. If you're not happy about your body, just work out and eat healthy. If you're not happy about your finances, find a way to make more money. Like, it's simple. I mean, we try to overcomplicate things. Like, happiness is whatever you want to define it. I can be happy with $1 million in my bank account, and if I don't have that, I'm sad. But instead of just dwelling on what I don't have, just go and get it. Like, just go and get the shit. That's the thing. That's why I was talking about that lid that's over the jar. A lot of black people be depressed, and a lot of black people, and not even just black people, a lot of people just be depressed, and they don't even like what their life is, but they don't even understand that you literally can do anything that you put your mind to. Anything that you want, you can get it.